Hello, welcome back to ManVFilm. It is a little time for a look into Vinegar Syndrome. I've been asked some questions about it. I thought we'd jump into the site before it closes down. One of the things that Vinegar Syndrome does is before a sale, it usually closes for a week. And then after the sale, it's usually closed for like a good number of weeks, 4 to 5, because they get that many orders that it takes a while to process it. If you're going to be going to the Vinegar Syndrome sale, best of luck. It's exciting. There can be quite a further about the actual sale itself. Easy to get drawn up. And some of the things I'll show you how it's easy to get drawn into everything that's going on, especially if you're on boards or live stream or something, you see it going on, it can be quite chaotic. The first Vinegar Syndrome sale that I took part in was quite an experience. And let's just dive into the website itself. So you load up Vinegar Syndrome, you get all its kind of recent releases here, all these wonderful artworks of exploitation, horror and porn movies that they do, because they do the porn releases. You can limit it into limited editions still in stock. Limited editions are pretty much just slip covered edition movies or box sets that are still together. So it always starts with the newest to the least or to the oldest. So we can see Six String Samurai, which is a VSU title. It's there. They've got many sub-ranges as well, which we'll kind of talk about. But say you go to the old to new, I'll bring up some of their older titles that still have slipcovers available. Now, this is where you can jump in and have a look at some of the titles. So say Nightmare Sisters, we'll have a look at that. Right down here is the FOMO indicator, which is telling you that there is 499 in stock. It's really good because it lets you know what's there. But man, does that drive the sales. You can watch these things literally tick down real time as they are bought, and it is unbelievable to see. And it really does push that FOMO and make you want to buy more. On the left hand side here, you get various images of the movie, and then it will jump through and you'll see you can get screenshots of the film itself. Now, it's really, there's really something different, you know, just being able to jump into a movie and seeing that there's only 359 left in stock. You can understand why it pushes the need for people to want, or the FOMO to get things. So there's lots of titles here that I've pretty much got everything recently. I may be interested in Malibu High because I've heard good things about that. And out of those ones, maybe the telephone book when the sale comes. That's been hanging about for a long while, so I would expect that to drop to roughly about $12.50 for that one, because they're roughly half price, I think. So maybe around about that. And you can get your ideas of what you're picking. Now, up in the releases, you can also go to format and limit it to like 4K UHDs, in which you've got several on site. I would strongly recommend RAD sold out. This is the thing. It does have titles on here that are sold out. So you get into RAD, the product is out of stock, teases you a little bit. You think you're going to get something and you just don't quite get there. These are all the 4Ks on the site just now. Now, Beastmaster, upcoming sale, 619 left of 10,000 copies, I think it was. This is a must-own. The set is phenomenal. It has this really cool case that they like to show off, and no wonder. It's awesome to look at. It's a VSU. Like I said, Six String Samurai is the next release of that, which I am really looking forward to. There's no box images up, just the art so far, and this looks amazing. So let's just kind of keep going. You can check sub-labels and series. So there are several sub-labels within Vinegar Syndrome. You get the original Vinegar Syndrome line. You get the VSA, which is the Vinegar Syndrome Archive. These are very mixed on quality, I would say. They range from awesomeness of martial law to the Drek, which is Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Dread, which is really one of the worst ones. It's one of these series that's, you always have a moment of fear when you pick up one of these titles. So just quickly run through them. We've got a good, I like this, but it's divisive. I like this. This is horrible. This is good. This isn't good. I enjoyed this a lot. This one as well. This was probably my favourite. Action USA was great, and the last couple have all been, we've been on a run pretty much since Spellcaster. They've all been really enjoyable. So we go into the other sublabels. So Vinegar Syndrome Ultra is the 4K special edition releases. Please, if you're considering going to the sale, pick up the Beastmaster. I think you'll be super impressed. It's an awesome release and highly recommended. We can have a look at Picorama's The Porn, which I'm not interested in. So the other ones. And then we have partner labels. Partner labels are companies that work with Vinegar Syndrome, kind of use their marketing mentality and are pushed along with that. So some of them have only got 1 or 2 titles, some have a little bit more. Again, you can limit down to limited editions. I won't go through all of these because you can check them out yourself. Some that I hear great things about is the Fun City editions. Now, I know there's a couple of people on the channel talk about them a lot. I missed out on the Alphabet City limited edition, which I'm kind of regretting now. I'm interested in Jeremy and in Walking the Edge, 2 very different movies, and these are things that I'll be looking for in the sale. So like I said, new ones of these are popping up all the time. Gunpowder and Sky. Excuse me. Gunpowder and Sky are a company that I've spoken to a lot, and they're releasing some of their movies on 4K super editions, like Prospect, which is a movie that I think is really great. I'm not sure if I want that straight away, but it does look rather snazzy. It seems to be almost as if it's side loading. It almost looks like a slipcase within a slipcase, doesn't it? You get these cards with it as well. Pedro Pascal. I'm interested in this. So you get partner labels as well. You get merch, which they always offer up something wacky during the sales. You never know what it's going to be. Let's just check all merch and see what's there. There's pajamas from Don't Panic. You get t-shirts, Silent Madness 3D. You get cassette tapes, slipcover protectors, which are great, shelf dividers, miniature slipcovers with little pins inside of them, replacement cases, vinyl pins, all kinds of things. And like I said, there's always something wacky during the sale that make it kind of worth checking out. Let's just jump into... So staff picks are interesting. Now, this wasn't really effective for the sale, but this is where they have other companies that they just sell editions of their movies. So you've probably seen me or heard me talk about Blue Underground. And if I go, let's go price high to low, it'll bring all the 4Ks to the top of this one. So trying to get these things in the UK are expensive. If I change this to UK prices, it tells you they're just under £25 per title. Have a look at eBay. They range from 40 to 50. Picking them up at that price is wonderful. I bought all these 4, and recently when I had a little bit of spare change, I bought this, and it will come with my next order. Going into the releases again, you can break it down to genres of what you want. action, art house, blaxploitation, classic erotica, comedy, documentary, drama, horror, science fiction, and thriller. I'm going to jump into the horror briefly just to have a quick look. And again, it always brings up new to old. So I've got all of these horror titles already. And what I would love is some recommendations from yourself. I've got all of these as well. Of what you think is something to keep an eye out from the sale. I would love if you could curate a list of titles to look out for, why you want to recommend them, or just list titles that you think are worth having in a collection. There's certain ones I'm really curious about. Night Owl, The Passing, and Night Beast are 3 of those titles that I am really quite curious about. I would have loved to have got this Mausoleum slipcover version because I love that movie, and that is just an awesome looking version. The Corruption of Chris Miller is one that I've heard lots about. It's a giallo that I will definitely be looking at come sale time. Brad Pitt's, one of Brad Pitt's first movies, Cutting Class, a slasher. It should be said, it shows you the slipcovers and all these, but a lot of them have gone already. Like I said, you just need to keep your eye out on it. But I want some good recommendations from you people, if you have them, of what I could pick up. Yeah, that would be great. So, like I said, I love the Vinegar Syndrome releases. I love just going in and checking them out. I've got the UK price up just now, but they usually do like a monthly package. So the April package included Homegrown Horrors, 3 movies, All American Murder, which was fantastic, The Cellar, which was great, and Grave Secrets, which was really good. And that was for just under 100 for, well, what worked out it was 6 movies. What should be said during the sale is when you go to add it to your cart, if you make one order, you can then continue to add to that order throughout the sale, because they don't send anything out until the sale's closed, and even then it could be weeks afterwards. But you can just keep adding to it without constantly adding postage costs, which is lethal because you go back and you order more and more and more. But that's Vinegar Syndrome in a nutshell. One of my favourite kind of companies at the moment because of the exploitation and horror goodness and weird movies that probably have been forgotten about or don't see the light of day, and they get this loving transfer from Vinegar Syndrome, which are just brilliant. There's a little bit about Vinegar Syndrome here. It just tells you what they do. Their preservation, digital restorations of movies. They only deal in film, and they want to give it the best treatment that they possibly can, which you've got to admire, which is why I'm so willing to support them and give my subscription money, which is a lot of money for what I get. But I trust in the ability to be able to sell on the titles that I don't like, and the trust that I'm going to get things that are weird and different that I would never experience if it wasn't for Vinegar Syndrome. So I'm looking forward to the sale. It's a couple of weeks out. If you've not signed up to their newsletter, do so. It really adds to the excitement of the sale. I will be doing a live stream for the sale, and I will be coming back with my top 10 picks of Vinegar Syndrome movies to buy in the sale. These will be 10 movies that I own, that I have seen, and that I can thoroughly recommend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on ManVFilm.